Hello, Ducks fans and hockey fans in Orange County, California, United States, Finland, and all over the world. Let's talk about our Ducks. Let's talk about the state of our team, our franchise. Let's talk about why our team is where they are right now. 8, 16, and 6 after 30 games is not only it's more than just disappointing and sad. It's disgraceful. It's shameful. It is the most, never in my life, but never in all Ducks fans' lives who have been following this team since day one have we seen our team falter and stumble and seeing the increase in turnovers with our puck and defensive breakdowns and the lack of offense. You name it, it's been extremely frustrating, but also very annoying at the same time because we know our Ducks can be better. But sadly enough, the results we see on the ice is not a reflection of what we see on the roster right now. And we know for sure that the lack of strategy, the lack of vision, the lack of focus is a result, of course, of a willfully stubborn GM, Bob Murray, and a stubbornly ignorant head coach, Dallas Aikens. Both those two. I don't know what the world is going on, but when you have a roster full of potential and talent, and it's not even producing on the ice, it's just who knows. Honestly, it makes me have no confidence in Bob Murray or Dallas Aikens. I mean, 8, 16, and 6, 22 points at the bottom of the Honda West Division, 29th overall in the league. I don't need to tell you about the stats. We know the stats. Stats don't lie. The weaknesses and the flaws we see in our team is as a result of the inaction, or should I say the lack of inaction, or not lack of inaction, lack of action. The Ducks, for some unknown reason, has not even done to improve this team. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in giving some of the young prospects a chance, and I'm a believer in the developing within the strategy. But this team should have at least focus or look at trades that can help improve this team in the long run. Especially with Bob Murray. Bob Murray is, I don't know. What more can you say of Bob Murray? His trades have not turned out well. He should have at least not stopped that with the Kessler trade. As for Dallas Aikens, hey, look, I gave him a benefit of the doubt. But it's very clear to me that there is a lack of motivation within the team, and who knows what the hell is going on in the locker room. I'm not going to speculate anything on what is going on, but honest to God, when you have a Ducks GM who's willfully stubborn and a naive, ignorant coach, results and falling short and a lot of losses result in what we saw in the past 2 months. At this point, at this midway point of the season, of this short season, what more can we want? Something's need to change. We know this well. Because our Ducks cannot go through this haphazard mismanagement, miscommunication, whatever the hell you want to call it. It needs to stop now. And the owners must know this if they want to know. Because honest to God, honest to goodness gracious, the The loss, and I stand by it, the 8-4 loss is a disgrace and shameful. That is what it is. There should be no excuse, no complaints of why the Ducks are at where they are right now. And there should be no excuses on why there's trade rumors popping here and there with some of our veterans, from Ricard Raquel to Adam Henrique to Jakob Silverberg to Hampus Lindholm. Who knows? As each day passes, each week passes, our Ducks could be very active in the trade deadline day. And they should. Since when is the last time the Ducks were involved in a big time trade? When was the last time? It's been forever. And with Bob's lack of trade success involving big time players, I mean, as I said in my previous video, unable to get Patrick Laine, Justin Falk, Pierre-Luc Dubois, you name it. It has made me feel I have no confidence in a guy who has been with us since, 2008. And his tenure is about to end. It's about to end soon. I mean, you win as a team, you lose as a team. And accountability starts with not only just the players, the head coach, and the GM. And so far, what really bugs the hell out of me is the fact that the guidance of those two, especially Bob Murray, has not allow our Ducks to fulfilling a potential that we know personally they can. But in today's NHL, where youth and speed and offense and talent, this whole notion of using the same tactics, same strategies to win games, it's not working. We know that. We know that a few times when the Ducks were up 4-2, or 3 times they were up 3-0 and lose 4-3 in OT, or loss in the regulation loss. It's got to stop. And and I can't blame anyone for being annoyed and pissed off and angry, because I'm pissed off too. I followed this team since 1993. We've all followed this team since 1993. It is sheer willful ignorance and stubbornness when the Ducks GM doesn't even do any trades, or has remained silent. All he does is sign depth players here, depth players here. Okay, here's the thing. When you have veterans that glide from here to here, and youth who are just trying so hard to contribute. I mean, for example, Trevor Zegras. Trevor Zegras is 19 years old. He's not the savior of this team. He needs time. He needs time to develop. Or he needs a player who would come in via trade that can help his development, help advance his development. It happened before, okay? The Solani trade. Paul Kariya would not be Paul Kariya without Teemu Solani. Yes, I said that. If you want to feel offended, go ahead. We can talk about that. Truly, at this pinnacle point, as trade rumors come and go, as we debate and bicker on what to do, I'm all for doing the trades. I'm all for looking at the long-term success, okay? Yes, we have a great history, a unique history that all Ducks fans, including those in locals, I know who you are proud of. But how do we honor the past? Oh, it's simple. We support the future. We support those who are willing to contribute. And there are some players who will remain nameless, who I do not feel I have the confidence in. They should understand well that when you go to Anaheim, go to Orange County, you're there to play to win, to contribute. Not to enjoy the beaches, not to enjoy the food or the atmosphere. If I know, well, locals they don't take lightly to people taking advantage of that. And it all comes down to finding quality players. Quality players that can come in and help with the offense, help with the young guys in their development. And clearly, I don't see any of that for the past 30 games with this team. The playoffs are out of the question. There's no point of the Ducks making the playoffs, okay? With so many holes, so much weaknesses, and a lot of Achilles heels that make the Titanic look like a Marvel cruise. Truly, truly. We got to look at real reforms. This team needs to look at real reforms. And one, if the Ducks want to replace Bob Murray and Dallas Aikens, they should do that either right now, well, not right now, because it would be a total gutter mess. Do this after the season, look at what needs to be done, look at a smooth transition from, say, the Bob Murray era to whoever succeeds him, maybe a Martin Madden or Kevin Deneen as head coach, who knows? See, with only 26 games left in this season, the Ducks need to ensure that the youth of this team, the future of this team, play the final 26 games. And then they got allowed the Z-Man, Trevor Zegras. Yes, I call him the Z-Man. Allow him to play his game. Let him learn. Let him know. Let him understand what it means to be an Anaheim Duck. Let Jamie Drysdale play. I mean, I'm glad they gave Josh Mahara a chance to play. There's no shame in giving these young guys a chance to play. They are the future of this team. And the future we see is something that all Ducks fans know about. We know. We saw Getzlaf and Perrygrove. We saw Korea develop into a superstar. We saw J.S. Jaguar develop from a minor league farmhand to a very established goalie, a Stanley Cup champion, and a Conn Smythe Trophy winner. All of this, as I say, the Ducks need to do reforms. And this team we see is basically a result of the lack of trying, the lack of action, the lack of focus, the lack of timidness. Well, not the timidness, but the lack of strategies on the trade front. Do I want the Ducks to trade? Yes, I do. Do I see the Ducks trading some of these players? I hope to. I hope so. Because I know the MO, the Ducks have a tendency to focus on the prospects they drafted at. But let's be honest, let's be very clear. If you're looking at the roster and looking at the Ducks players under the age of 25 and looking at all the San Diego Gulls players, it is important to know that most of them or some of them may not suit up for the Ducks. They may be part of a trade package. They may be land a big time Norris Trophy winning defenseman. They may land a high scoring right winger. I'm using both the Pronger trade and the Salai trade as examples because we sold the farm to get those guys. And look what it did. Pretty good, eh? So it comes down to having reforms that give us an insight on, okay, what is the vision? What is the path forward for the Ducks? When we reclaim the Stanley Cup and win our second Stanley Cup, what would the team look like in 3 to 4 years? I mean, it's not difficult. It's not a debatable question. It is, and I'll speak to you from my heart. The Ducks, I feel, is long overdue for a big time trade. And doing so, they need to do it so they can ensure the strength of our team in the long run. And when you trade, that roster player coming back has to be a player that can help with the young guys. It has happened before, guys, and I know this, you guys know this too. It's happened before and it will happen again. But if we're going to basically, well, one Ducks YouTuber fan says revamp the entire team. Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that, but let's be very clear. If you're going to revamp the entire team, it's going to extend the rebuild rejuvenation phase to 10 years. I'd rather we look at who are the young, productive Ducks players that have produced well, i.e., Max Comtois. Keep them and look at those who we feel are ready, or give them a chance to learn the ropes. And this season has shown that the Ducks have a lot of potential. They have raw talent. But are they good? They're not that good. They're not that bad. But they can be great. I just don't feel personally that with Bob Murray at the helm, at the GM, it won't look good. I just don't feel that. Calling the vote of no confidence. It is. It is a vote of no confidence. So the final 26 games going forward, it's very important for and to have this team to finish on a positive note. If we can do that, maybe the the off season the Ducks can ensure and create these reforms, because it doesn't look like this team has changed a bunch, and we know they haven't changed. They haven't changed, and the Ducks needing a roster shakeup is long overdue. I mean, it's important that they create the interest. I mean, it's important to look at that, but the lack of intensity, the lack of focus on this team is it's just mind-boggling. It's just concerning, and that's why I feel it's important that this team needs to look at the big picture. I mean, and do some real reforms, because call it rebuild, call it retooling, or whatever. Reforms is what the Ducks need. As I said before, they need it really, really important, really good, really now. So, till then, guys, I'll see you guys soon.